Yo, what's up? It's Andy. Welcome to the Twin Flame Gang series. And today, look, I was only going to make one video about New World All-Star, but my guides, told me to watch his video yesterday. I haven't watched a video in months and months and months. So I didn't realize he's on some new crazy shit. And I'm about to debunk everything about it. And honestly, this is going to change everything because he just posted a video yesterday called Don't Be With Your Twin. And so, first of all, he starts by saying, this happens to a lot of his coaching clients, right? Where their twin comes back in after some years and they're fat, they're lazy, they're narcissists, they have no job. Okay. And you start to think, they're not really my type. And, they're kind of, pieces of shit. And it's like, I'm sorry, that is not inner union. You are not in inner union. Your twin's coming back because now you need to balance that way. That is not inner union. Because here's the thing. If you think for 1 second that isn't all ego, because when you have what is actually called unconditional love, that is the paradox too. The age difference, different countries, different religions, that's the paradox. So when you have the heart merger and you actually come into union, you have an unconditional love. Let me just tell you, if my twin, if 95% of his body was burned and he was obese and he lost his limbs, I would love him the same. So that's ego, okay? You're not in inner union right there. And that's proof that you're not in inner union. And then he goes on to say, and if you believe that you can magically change somebody else's personality, right? That's ego death. So if I'm saying, okay, that's what an ego death is, that shell, that mask goes away and then you're your soul self. That is not inner union. If you believe so he doesn't believe, so if he could meet his twin and get activated, and he's all, if you believe that you could meet somebody and magic will happen and their personality will change, it's like, that's what the activation is for, the ego death. So you lose that piece of shit attitude and you lose that piece of shit, narcissist tendencies, and you lose all of those things. That's what it is. So how did he think, if it's too magical for us to come to inner union and therefore push them into their ego death because we are the same, we're split. But then what did he think happened when he met his twin? He got activated. So, but he's not in inner union. He's in his ego still, and that's why he's trying to manipulate people, because he's in his ego. Now listen, when people are saying that their twin is a narcissist, they're not a narcissist. I lived with a narcissist psychopath for 4 years, okay? They don't ghost you, okay? They own you. So they will never, ever leave you and want nothing to do with you. No narcissist. They own you until either they try to take your life, or they go to jail, or they meet somebody else and start fucking with them. you don't get out. That is no narcissist. And first of all, no twin flame would be a narcissist because they're not even in the 3D. They're in the 2D. They're walking around in hell here in this reality. That is no twin flame. If your twin flame has narcissist tendencies, that's you. They are you. Those are you. Those are beliefs you have about yourself. If you don't like his weight, figure out your issues. You know what I mean? Because that is ego. That is ego. That is crazy. That blows my mind that he's saying that. Look, this, I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know. But look, in this new world, this new earth, we're not tolerating that stuff. You know, we don't take no shit. And like a divine feminine would never, a narcissist can't even, look, I've been being tested. Mine tried to take my life, okay? And then he stalked me in my gym every day that I worked for an entire year. And he's been gone for months. He went to a different gym. But recently he's been, you know, stalking my Instagram. He came into the gym, he was circling me, and you know, normally that would have, my anxiety would have been out the roof. It would have been, but I'm divinely protected. You know, it didn't bother me. You know, it was just like, they'll never leave. He'll never leave. He'll always own me is what he thinks, you know. And, you know, I moved, I did all, you know, they don't ghost you. There's no just ignoring you. That's not that's not how that works. They don't do that. They have to have constant validation from you. You are their main source. There's no way they'll ignore you, okay? That is not how this works. The divine, why, okay, you have to lose your ego. Why would he give you somebody that's full of trauma? Because no divine feminine will ever take it. No one would. And if they were in inner union, I promise you, their twin would not be acting like that. They are you. Deal with yourself, then come into inner union, and then see if you still think they're fat. You know, if you still think, you wouldn't do that. That it's unconditional love. So you have not had the crown chakra opening. Either have you, buddy, all-star, whatever the fuck your name is, Kurt. You, if you need help, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not in inner union. And either is your girl. And that makes more sense of why she did not awaken. Because you are not. You are still so deep in your ego, it's ridiculous. So look, now I used to say watch all this stuff. But now I'm saying don't watch it. Because he's trying to confuse you and manipulate you into buying his program. And he thinks, because he's still in his ego, that he is Eckhart Tolle, Ram Dass. He believes he's up there, right? He believes that. You know that. So he's not. You guys, come on. This is, we're not doing this no more. No, not around here, not up here, not in the new earth. So, you know, even politicians, everyone, you know, they're gonna be fucking called out, you know, like, we're done with that. So, honestly, I'm a new channel, so like and comment this so that the algorithm gets it everywhere, because that has to stop. That is horrible to say that about the divine masculines. Like, they also get their ego death. They also get all of that stuff that's not cool, you know? And he's just acting like it, like he's just, man, you guys are all fucking stupid. Everybody else but me has figured it out. I cracked the code. No, you cracked your fucking head, bro. No, this is not, no. No, you guys. Mm-mm.